The best way to see the true landscape of Cornwall and Devon is on foot.
Britain is a walker's paradise, and these two counties are packed with beautiful walks. Just another epic cove in Cornwall.
Going to the places only your walking boots can take you.
You've got to follow the wonderful curves of the river.
Just makes my heart sing.
I'm with you.
From the romance of the River Dart to the wild beauty of the Lizard.
That is a joy.
And en route, I'll be seeking out the county's most unforgettable views.
This is thought to be the oldest surviving beacon in the British Isles.
Sampling some of the region's most famous food and drink.
Cheers, everyone.
Extreme painting.
And meeting the people
Got it.
Good work.
that make Cornwall and Devon so unique.
So walk with me. It's going to be an adventure you'll never forget. My journey around Cornwall and Devon has taken me 28 miles off the mainland to the Isles of Scilly. This tropical paradise is known for its tight-knit community and its isolated beauty.
Officially a part of Cornwall, this cluster of 150 islands makes up one of the world's largest archipelagos.
The Isles of Scilly have a nickname. They're called the Fortunate Islands. That could be for a million reasons. It could be these long, white, uncrowded sandy beaches, the balmy weather, the crystal waters. Whatever the reason, this is some of the purest air that you'll ever breathe. So they are the perfect place for a walk.
And you're spoilt for choice. I've selected a walk around, in my view, one of the most beautiful and unspoilt of the islands, St Martin's. It's a 5-mile circular loop starting in the south at Newquay, winding north to Great Bay, where it tracks the coast path to St Martin's Head, before looping back to the quay where it started. Then I'm going to finish my walk with a quick hop over to the subtropical island of Tresco.
Whatever you do, call them the Isles of Scilly, not the Scilly Isles.
I'm setting off from St Mary's, the largest of the 5 inhabited islands and the gateway to all the other smaller islands. From here, it's a 30-minute boat ride to my beautiful starting point.
This is St Martin's, the island I'm going to be walking around. It's only 2 miles long and a quarter of a mile wide, but it has some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. Wish I'd packed my bikini. That beach is absolutely empty, not a sausage. Look at that. There's just something about this wild beauty. Thank you. Bye.
This is Par Sands Beach,
So good just breathing in this fresh air.
one of St Martin's outstanding features, an arc of soft white sand.
So I'm heading towards that bullet-shaped red and white beacon in the distance. And this walk around St Martin's is nice and easy. It's a circular walk, so you can't get lost. And it's not too tricky. So I would argue that the whole family could manage this one. And there are so many delicious picnic spots along the way.
A short walk over the headland from Par Sands is Old Quay Beach.
Hey, Ella!
Hi, Julia.
God, it's blustery on here today.
And local lass Ella McLachlan.
So what are you up to? What are you harvesting?
I'm harvesting bladderwrack seaweed.
Bladderwrack
Yes,
seaweed.
which
Okay.
grows very plentifully on the beaches over here.
Lying in the path of the Gulf Stream, the warm, temperate climate and the shallow, clear waters provide the perfect conditions for seaweed.
You've just got a pair of scissors, I'm surprised.
Yes, I just do it all by hand.
Where are you going to take this next?
So I will take this home and put it on my drying racks to dry out.
So you've got your socks, you've got your sheets, and then you've got your seaweed.
No, they're specially made drying racks, don't worry.
Seaweed boasts more vitamins and minerals than any other food, and Ella uses it to make skincare products.
So this is what you use the seaweed for?
Yeah.
How did you get the idea?
Well, when my children were small, I really just fell in love with sea swimming and just immersion in nature and clearing my head. And so I just really thought, wouldn't it be amazing if you could bottle the feeling that you have? I came up with sort of a couple of ideas of how to use the seaweed, which has got so many benefits for your skin.
What a fantastic job you've got. So you
Yes.
come down here, you harvest your seaweed,
Yeah.
and you're married to a local?
Yeah, my husband is the baker.
The baker.
Up the road.
What about your kids, born on the islands?
My daughter was born here, but my son was a bit more dramatic.
What do you mean dramatic?
Yeah, I went into labour a month early. I got flown to Trillis Hospital in Truro, but he was actually born en route to the hospital in the helicopter.
I don't even know where to begin. What was it like giving birth in a helicopter?
Well, I'm not the first person on the island that it happened to, but yeah, it was a bit scary, but I had a lovely midwife, so yeah.
What an experience. That is a great story.
The walk then takes me back up from the beach to the island's only road. There are only 9 miles of roads on all of the Isles of Scilly combined, and very few cars.
Rush hour. Here we go.
I don't think there are too many traffic jams here. It's a short, sharp climb up the hill to the main hub of St Martin's.
Right, well, this is Higher Town. I say town. The entire population of the island is about 120. There is a school, and there are 14 students at the moment in the school. There's a post office, there's a cobbler, there's a florist. Everything you need, really.
What I need is a packed lunch for my walk, so I'm heading for Ella's husband's bakery.
Hello, ladies. I'm in search of Barney. Barney the baker.
Barney came to work on the Isles of Scilly 20 years ago and never left. Every morning he bakes a selection of organic breads. I've heard that his crab roll is to die for, and I need that recipe.
Hi, Barney.
Hiya, how you
Hello,
doing?
hello. Right, come on then. I want you to show me how to make the ultimate crab roll, please. My idea of heaven.
Fantastic. Well, we need to start off with very, very fresh crab.
Yes.
Just the white crab meat.
Which
for
is,
crab rolls.
for me, that's heaven.
A lot of people would use dill. That's fair enough. I used to, but I don't because I found just growing down the road a bit of fennel.
Oh, how did you hear about the Isles of Scilly in the first place?
I came down on holiday as a small person in 1976 and fell in love with the freedom that you get over here.
Do you consider yourself to be a local now?
That is a bit interesting. I am a local. I'm also an islander. My children, if they have children and they spend all their time here, my children's children might be Salonians.
Your children's children?
Could be Salonians, but
Wow. That's more complicated than our royal family. Am I romanticising this? I come back to the Isles of Scilly and I just think the lifestyle is so idyllic.
not me. It is. I don't know, I don't want to say. It's absolutely idyllic. You go out, Great Bay. You've got this wonderful vista. You can sometimes even see the mainland from there. You've got the view up at the Daymark, watching the birds go overhead. You've got boats going to and fro. It's wonderful.
Here they come. So this is focaccia, salted
These are
focaccia.
sea salt focaccia, or at least a version thereof.
Oh my God.
I'm hoping it's all right.
Gorgeous. Right, you better carry on.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, I know for sure that that was made with love. Thank you, Barney. Thank you
worries.
for sharing your gorgeous story. I'm just really jealous, really. Thank you.
See you.
See you, bye.
Armed with my crab, I'm ready to take on the rest of my walk. The route takes me through Higher Town towards the north of the island, which is almost entirely wild and left exactly as nature intended.
Oh. Now, the great thing about a circular walk is if you see something you like the look of, you can just bounce off the path, go and take a look, and then get easily back onto it. Here you've got a low road and a high road. I'm going to take the low road because I want to stay close to the sea, but I'm definitely popping off to look at that beautiful beach. It's called Great Bay, and it is irresistible.
Great Bay lives up to its name, a sparkling, soft white sandy beach. And sparkling is no exaggeration.
What a beach! I mean, it's unbelievable.
Despite its magical good looks, there's not a hotel or condo in sight. Not even a kiosk or a beach hut. I have Great Bay all to myself.
With lots of beautiful landscapes like this, there's often a story or a legend behind their existence. And sometimes that story transcends a geological explanation. When it comes to the Isles of Scilly, it's said that in the 11th century, a giant tsunami swept across the land of Lyonesse and scattered its pieces far and wide. And these outcrops are the mountain peaks from that disaster. It's a nice story. This is also apparently the final resting place of King Arthur, so take your pick.
I'll leave you to it while I tuck into my crab roll.
Thank you, Barney. And I can just make out the tip of my beacon just there. About a mile to go, I'd say. Another bay, another gorgeous sandy cove.
I'm on St Martin's in the Isles of Scilly at the midpoint of my circular island walk. My next leg is along the unspoilt north coast from Great Bay to St Martin's Head, and the highest point of the island marked by a beacon called the Daymark.
The path is really narrow here and you're so close to the edge. I mean, look, you can hear the waves crashing down on the rocks below you and you're right there. So there is a real sense of exposure. And if you suffer from vertigo, you might want to hold someone's hand here or just take it very slowly. Stop. Listen to that. Suddenly it's much quieter. And you're sheltered in this little groove. Hello, Trig Point. Oh, I'm afraid you're outdone today by this badger. Oh, woohoo! Yay! This red and white humbug is thought to be the oldest surviving beacon in the British Isles. It's called a Daymark, and basically, it's a navigational tool for sailors. It's sort of a lighthouse without the light. It's just gorgeous, look at that. That's Great Bay, that lovely long white sandy beach. That's where I got off the boat earlier. And then those buildings glistening in the distance, that's the town centre. Ready for a tipple now.
Now it's a gentle mile-long amble back to Higher Town, where I'm going to allow myself a little Cornish treat.
Hello, Andy.
Hi there, how you doing?
How you
All
doing?
right?
I'm good.
Yeah, come on in.
This is where all the magic happens.
This is where all the magic happens.
Rum is the oldest spirit in the world. Its popularity is booming, and according to Andrew Walder, it's all set to become the new gin.
Your family have been farmers here for generations, haven't they?
Our family have been on this farm for about 70 years, but our family's been here in Scilly for over 330 years.
You are a true Solonian then.
Yeah, we've been here for a long time.
So why rum? I mean, how did you end up doing this?
I've spent a long time at sea. I spent 15 years in the Merchant Navy, so I'm drinking various different beverages. Rum is synonymous with the sea.
In the most simple terms, rum is made from sugar cane and often aged in oak barrels.
Should we go and have a look at it?
Yeah, definitely. Try and stop me having a little poke around a rum distillery.
Don't breathe too deeply, because it'll take the hairs off the inside of your nose.
OK, all right.
Have a smell of that.
Oh, I'm a little bit apprehensive now. Oh, wow. The berries and the sugar, and that just hits you. I think you could fuel an aircraft with that.
Yeah, it is quite alcoholic in there at the moment. It's, no naked flames in this room.
For centuries, rum has been the drink of seafarers and smugglers, which Cornwall and the Isles of Scilly have had their fair share of.
And there we are, one bottle of gold rum.
Including Andrew's ancestors, who've inspired his product.
So we started off with the spirit of John Nance. He was my great-great-great-grandfather. He was a rum smuggler, so he used to row gigs from Scilly to France. And
Perfect
he would
story.
smuggle back brandy and rum from France. So just about to launch a honey spice rum.
That could be good. I might have to taste that one.
Right, there we go.
Oh.
Right, cheers. It's quite warming initially, but it's really smooth going down.
The first thing is how smooth it is. It is very honey-like.
Yeah.
And I can actually feel it down here now. That is very, very lovely. Well done, Andrew. Congrats. You can taste the love in that.
St Martin's feels timeless. Some people say that these tiny islands are a vision of Britain paused in the 1950s. And there may be some truth in that.
Every time I come to the Isles of Scilly, I feel deeply envious of the lifestyle here, the community and the daily exposure to this, to the landscapes and to the sea. And we know that coastlines are therapeutic. They make you happy. So the Solonians, as they're known, must be ecstatic on a daily basis.
Sadly, the circle is complete, and I've reached the end of my St Martin's walk. But the walking isn't over yet. Before I leave the Isles of Scilly, there's one last place I have to visit. Somewhere that has long been on my bucket list. Just across the water is the subtropical island of Tresco, home to one of the world's most celebrated gardens.
Tresco is the only one of the islands that's privately owned, and I haven't seen them, but I've been told that the gardens are like nowhere else on Earth.
The magnificent gardens were established by botanist Augustus Smith in the 19th century. The mild climate and frost-free winters allow exotic plants from across the globe to thrive. As a result, they're often described as kew gardens without the roof.
Good afternoon, Mike.
Hello, Julia.
Hello, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Mike Nellams is the gardens curator, and he's been at Tresco for 40 years.
This place is paradise.
We're very lucky. It's plants from every Mediterranean climate zone in the world, and that's where we're unique. It's South Africa, New Zealand, California, the Canary Islands, South America. All these plants come from those particular areas, and we pull them all together.
I'm not very good with numbers, but I read 20,000 plants here. Is that right?
Probably more than that. We've probably got 50, maybe even 100,000 plants, but what we have got is about 3,500 to 4,000 different species, different types of plant. So here we are in the old abbey. This is where it all first started, this old ruined priory.
Oh my gosh, what are these?
Oh, they're Aeonium from the Canary Islands.
They are amazing. They're like little alien flowers, the way they bloop, 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 bloop.
Pure succulent.
Nature flourishes here, even a small population of red squirrels. And plants that would flounder on the mainland simply thrive.
Norfolk Island pine, that big tree there, very symmetrical. And we're the only place in Britain that can grow those. We just don't get cold and we don't get frost. But up here is the King Protea, which is the largest of all the protea flowers in South Africa.
Which is my favourite flower. Look at this. And now,
That's about perfect.
look at that. Just the most gorgeous thing in the world.
Even its leaves. You know your Aeonium plant that you so love?
Yes.
Well, this is the purple variety. Now, what I want to do is give you one of these to take home. The nice thing about this, you can just snap
my
it off. It looks violent, but it isn't. It
Right.
won't do the plant any harm at all. Now, when you get home,
Yep.
put that in a flower pot, in some compost. It will gently grow up.
Yes.
When it's grown about that tall, chop it off again. What you'll have is something that looks like that.
Yep.
Now, that will grow 4 new heads. As you can see
like
here.
my lovely
Yep.
alien shape.
There we are, that's yours.
Thank you. That is so kind, Mike. I'll try not to kill it.
I don't think you can.
Okay, good. Well, you haven't seen my gardening. Mike, I don't think I've ever been anywhere in the world quite like this. It's not called Kew without the roof for no reason.
Exactly.
And I've got my little bit of paradise that I'm going to try and cultivate at home.
Yes, indeed.
I'll send you weekly updates.
Good.
This has been an unforgettable walk. We may be only 28 miles off the coast of the mainland, but these magical islands truly are a world apart. They have a timeless atmosphere that is all of their own.
This archipelago is so incredibly special. There really isn't any place like it on Earth.
I'm walking the much-loved Southwest Coast Path in Devon.
You could be looking down on a Mediterranean beach. Absolutely divine.
From Shishi Salcombe
Here's the headland, it's opened up.
to rugged Prawl Point.
Best view in Devon.
Cheers.